Hey everybody, we're going to learn about self-heal today. It's out in our yards now. I'm having my lunch too, but I'm not going to eat in front of you, so I'm going to set it to the side. It's got to cool down some anyway. How are you doing? I'm Rachel with the Herbalist Garden, and we're going to learn about self-heal today. Self-heal? Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm not re-recording it. It's also called Prunella vulgaris, and I've got some disclaimers for you. I am an herbalist. I am not a doctor, and I research these topics heavily, and I give you the gist of everything because that's all I can do in about 30 minutes. And it is important that you do your own research. Very, very important, because I can't divulge everything, and besides, it really comes down to experience and body constitution and things like that, and what the symptoms are. There's like no cure-all. There really isn't. Well, they say that about black seed oil, but we're not there yet. We'll get there eventually. If you want to know, we can do some research together, right? Anyway, self-heal. This is what we got this week. And as I said, it's called Prunella vulgaris. It is known for its potential benefits in healing wounds, reducing inflammation, and supporting immune health. It is also known to help with conditions like sore throat and digestive issues. So, I guess I gotta put these on because I can't really see very well without them. I don't know. I feel like there was something I missed saying. Eventually, I'll write it down once I have it down pat, because I really just don't know. I wing this, except for my notes and what I tell you about the herb. I'll wing that because that's kind of important. Let me check real quick. And it is not a soda. It's a probiotic drink from Trader Joe's. That's pro good. Anyway, self-heal promotes healing with anti-inflammatory properties for arthritis and skin issues as well. So the most widely known ways that people use this, the most standard, that's probably the better way to say it, is brewing a self-heal tea that can alleviate digestive problems like indigestion and bloating. And then when you have it in your yard, or if you want to plant it, I mean, you can, but unless it's not native to your area, which we'll get into the native areas. If it's not native to your area, then seeds are available. You can get them online. But it enhances your garden area, your yard, the nature around you, because a garden is a very finite word for what we really are meaning here. I'll go into that another day. But enhance your garden with its beauty because it's a pretty flower, while it also attracts pollinators and prevents erosion. That's a huge one. Because the roots are so, vast and all tendrily that it basically makes the dirt steady and holds together so that it doesn't erode away in the rain. It's like a really good one. There's all native plants do that. and that's why it's important to have native plants to protect our ecosystem. So, Prunella vulgaris is commonly known as the self-healing herb. It has been used medicinally for centuries. The entire plant, which is edible, the entire plant, roots, stem, leaves, flower, can be used internally and externally to treat several health complaints and wounds. The plant's most common use is for the treatment of cold sores. So you make a tincture. I would recommend like a tincture or a tea, and then just putting it on the area. We'll go into it a little bit more. Prunella is a perennial plant native to Europe, but can also grow in parts of Asia and the United States. Grows all over my yard, like literally takes it over. It's like we go from one purple to the next purple to the next purple. I really like it. We got the violets, the purple dead nettle, we've got the creeping Charlie, we've got slash brown ivy, we have henbit, we've got now the south heel. It's just like purple everywhere, and that's my favorite color. So, well, one of them. This is my other favorite color. All these I wear a lot. But, and depending on the region it's grown, it blooms from June to August, where with lavender or white flowers. Mine are purple. Lavender, if you want to be particular. And mine goes June, October. It lasts, maybe not October. I have to pay attention better. But I know it lasts pretty much all summer long. The plants are usually cut during summer flowering and used fresh or dried in making herbal tinctures, infusions, and ointments. We'll go over other things you can make, or we'll go over all the things you can use it, how to use it. So it actually thrives better when you take off the top. Like if you deadhead it, or even just cut off the top, it actually keeps coming back better than if you just let it go naturally. So it improves, of course, its appearance, but also encourages additional blooming. Once the growing season is complete, you can cut it back down to ground level. It doesn't really get that high anyway in my yard. My grass is like here. It's like here. It's like barely any difference. And every time he mows, or I mow. So I've been doing that a lot this season. He wasn't home, so I don't mind. I like the mower. I bought it after all. Yes, I bought our tractor, and I like our tractor. I use it actually more than he does, because I can put my garden cart on the back of it. I can feel. I know it sounds funny, but I can feel like a farmer and like a homesteader type thing, and I don't know. It's like a little weird thing in my head that I enjoy. So nobody said it was normal. That's boring. Anyway. So if you're harvesting it for medicinal use, you'll want to use all of it. You can collect them up in bunches. You can do one here and one there. Let it dry in between. Just keep on adding it to a jar. Don't like pile them up because then they'll mold until they dry. But once you can like spread them out, let them dry, and then you can put it on or put it together in a jar once it's dry, because that compacting the moisture will grow mold and it'll smell, and you don't want that because you want to be able to use it and not waste it. I've made way too many mistakes in my herbal adventures, and yes, I highly recommend laying them out flat to dry. Just gotta. So, it has many common names, not just self-heal. I've heard it called heal-all too. That is, so I wasn't sure exactly what to call it, but really it's Prunella vulgaris, and the overall like scientific term is self-heal. But it's also known as common self-heal, woundwort, heal-all, heart of the earth, carpenter's herb, brownwort, and blue curls. I mean, I'd never heard anything but heal-all and self-heal. But to be fair, I don't live in other parts of the country. I live here, so where it is. Other parts of the country, other countries, they probably have different names for it. Just depends on where you came from, who taught you about it, and so on and so forth. So in North America, self-heal was used by many Native American groups as one of their traditional herbal medicines. The Algonquins, the Delaware, Iroquois, Mohegans, they all used it as a fever reducer. The Cherokee used it for washing burns, bruises, diabetic sores, cuts, acne. The Cree chewed self-heals for sore throats. Blackfeet Nation used self-heal as an eye wash and a wound cleanser on humans and horses. The Iroquois turned self-heal into a treatment for coughs, gastrointestinal issues, gynecological issues, colds, tuberculosis, hemorrhoids, diarrhea, respiratory symptoms. It literally does a lot. So we're going to kind of touch on all of these. I believe that we'll be able to kind of there are studies. I'm going to tell you one right now. One study found some evidence that it has anti-tumor properties. So that's a huge one, which means that it could be, and I believe we'll touch on it being anti-cancer. Am I even allowed to say that? I don't know. I have been. They haven't taken me down yet. So it's also talked about, there's other studies where they used it to help lower glucose levels in diabetic mice. And you can make a self-heal honey. That would be good. It appears to have benefits, with one study finding that it helped improve gut microbiota composition in rats with colitis. There's a lot of things, because honey in itself will heal it, but it would take a lot longer, and you have to have the pollen in it and all that kind of stuff. But when you pair, in my opinion, in my experiences, if you pair it with something else that does just as much, if not more, you're given a boom boom, about the with the remedy and your 1-2 punch. So that I think about some of you that tell me you watch me, so it's kind of like, oh, they're gonna think I'm weird. Well, I am. So, I just know what I do. You either like me or you don't. But anyways, I appreciate when you watch. So hi everybody who watches me that I know. I appreciate you very much. Anyway, back to self-heal. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, the 1-2 punch of formulating your herbs. So the honey is herb, but it's nature. So herbs are natural. It's like a blanket term. So honey self-heal in it, it's gonna really improve the things that you're aiming for, and maybe some that you weren't expecting. So I like, somebody called it stacking, but I'm not sure if it's stacking. I'm not sure. I have to find out what they really meant by that. But I call it formulating, and I've been learning that in my herbalism courses. I finished one, and now I'm working on another one, because, I gotta do everything. So that is what it is. But anyway, we talked about it being useful as an infusion, a tea, mouthwashes, ointments, massage oils, and eye washes. There's a lot of way you can do it. In some climates, it comes up as early March. But that would be like really warm, temperate, like zone 7 through 10, probably, which is, I'm only in 6B. And this year, those zones went out the window with the fact that it's just so bleeding hot outside right now. And then all spring we had all the rain. It's kind of like the plants actually are doing really good, so I'm happy about that. But it's like extremely tropical like weather outside, so I put all my tropical plants outside. They were sitting there loving all this. See, the seeds, you can collect seeds from your self-heal in your yard or wherever you plant them or wherever they come up. In about August or September is when the seeds start coming out, and you can like collect everything gently so that the seeds don't come out. And then I like to kind of like rub them because you can use it as a poultice even. I've seen that. So it's not like rubbing the plant's going to damage its constituents or its usefulness. So rubbing in all the seeds kind of just fly out. Into an envelope is usually what I do. I usually keep my seeds in like an old medicine bottle. I get this from my friends. I usually keep them in an old medicine bottle that I rip the original label off, for privacy purposes. Plus, I don't need their label, whatever. And then I just write on it what it is. I like that system for keeping seeds. I feel like it's better than having them closed up in an envelope where you can't see through it, basically. And I don't want it in plastic. Well, even though the medicine bottles are plastic, I have to think through this process. The flowers are tubular and have 2 lips. The top lip is usually purple and the bottom is often white or purple, but the flowers may also be bluish or pinkish. I've only ever seen purple. The bottom lip is deeply lobed and fringed. I believe at the very beginning, or maybe I'll put it up here. Here we go. We'll put another picture of kind of like an up-close picture of the flower itself. It looks very similar to a lot of others, so it's not like it is really hard to misidentify it. I think you'll be okay. There is one other plant, but they usually don't grow together. The flowers have 4 stamens, and hairy bracts, which are specialized leaves, are beneath them. The whole plant is used medicinally. The constituents, if you have any sort of a sciencey mind to know what each of these constituents do, we can go over them if you're interested. Let me know down below if you are interested, and I can kind of like highlight each constituent and what they do for our body, so that like when I mention them, you're like, oh, I know what that does. Oh, I know what that does. So anyway, continuing. Constituents, they have flavonoids, triterpenoids, phenolic acid, diterpenes, and other terpenoids, polysaccharides, volatile oils, coumarins, that's an important one to note for later, and saponins. So, there it goes. Those are the main constituents within self-heal, and those do a lot. There's a lot to that. It's basically astringent, demulcent, diuretic, hemostatic, lymphatic, immunomodulating, and vulnerary. And if you know what all those means, then you'll know what they are. If you don't, again, I can go over them. We can do different videos highlighting different terminologies if you're interested. Because it takes me a long time to learn these things. It's not like I just remember off the top of my head. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's a whole thing. Brains. It's a member of the mint family. It is a bitter, cooling, and astringent plant, demulcent qualities that make it energetically similar to plantain. But plantain is more mucilaginous than demulcent. So, ways that it helps us. Let's go over this. So, because it's demulcent and astringent, that makes it beneficial for oral care. And because it has a cooling nature, it excels at comforting hot, inflamed states in the mouth and throat. So, like, it would help with a sore throat, mouth ulcers, inflammation of the gums. You can, like, basically make a tea and then cool it and then swish, swish, swish around in your mouth. And then there's more to that in a little bit. But it also, let's go from here to the kidneys, because kidneys more to respect, right? According to herbalist Matthew Wood in Earthwise Herbal, A Complete Guide to Old Medicinal Plants, traditional herbalists utilize self-heal for its diuretic properties. It is also believed to have tonifying and strengthening effects to the kidneys. Because sometimes a diuretic can be agitating to the kidneys. Well, this one's supposed to be like tonifying and astringent, which means it strengthens and tones the muscles and the actual organ itself. So it makes it more efficient. He also notes that another herbalist, William Lasassier, used it especially when dental decay combined with kidney trouble. So, I mean, everything kind of like works in tandem. It's kind of part of our body. So it's all going to work together. But basically, it builds a healthy kidney function and improves for strong bones and teeth. And it basically just helps the whole system feel better. So you can use it for first aid. I said you could use it with poultice. You can use it on small cuts and wounds. That you can make it into an oil for that as well, or you can do a tincture. However you feel best using it, that's and whatever you're going to use it for, that's what you create it into. I usually have an oil. I usually have a tincture, which means I also have it fresh, or I'm sorry, dried, because fresh is only when it's fresh. So if you use it for first aid, I would personally keep it in a first aid kit as a tincture. An oil too. I think that would be a good option. I guess you can powder it down and then you can do whatever you want with it, but not all herbs should be powdered down or need to be powdered down. It can help with sunburns. It will actually comfort a sunburn, or like say you burn yourself on the stove. It can comfort that. You can use a tea as a compress with that one because it will also energetically cool and it soothes the area. So lacerations and cuts we went over. There was cuts and lacerations. So it can be used by itself or with other styptic plants, which like yarrow, but it actually is a styptic in itself. So you can as I said, make a poultice and then put it, like the actual plant itself, right onto, if you're desperate, you're going to do it. So you can put it straight onto the wound itself to help it stop bleeding. It is also going to be beneficial afterwards for wound care because it's antiviral. Did I read? I know it's antioxidant, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It's just going to help clean the wound even later. Nicholas Culpepper says that, and a special remedy for all green wounds to to solder the lips of them. So the green wounds, like something that's open, and then the lips of the wound, and it's kind of solders it together and keep them in place from any further inconveniences. That's what he said. I'm just reading what he said. So it's good for an abscess. So it has drawing energy like plantain does, which is why traditionally used for abscesses. The fresh leaves are useful in this regard, but the dried herb can also be used. So self-heal has been kind of a panacea, as it has been credited with treating everything from minor cuts to internal bleeding. Heal all. Self-heal, heal all. It will do a lot. It is a great plant to have in your yard. So, let's see. Scientific self-heal. Gosh, why did that do that? Autocorrect. Scientifically, they have studied self-heal, and the analysis revealed that an antibacterial action inhibiting the growth of Pseudomonas, E. coli, and Bacillus typhi. I don't know how to say that word. You got it there. Research studies are also being conducted to see if it can be used to treat diabetes, cancer, and AIDS, which we do know it actually helps with. It is scientifically, it is still in research. Have people run into experiences with it helping? Yes. So you can use it as an ointment to remedy bleeding hemorrhoids or swollen in veins, and can use it gynecologically for inflammation and pain. It can be made into an eye wash to relieve tired, swollen eyes. It's even been used to treat conjunctivitis. You can use it as a mouth or a throat wash we talked about. Reduces swelling in the mouth, throat, and lymph nodes. It's even in folk remedies used to treat anxiety, depression, and mood swings. So we talked about how it works on cold sores. Well, cold sores can be herpesvirus A or B, right? I think that's just, I don't know much about it, but I know what it looks like. I know when somebody tells me about it, and I can be like, this does that, this can help, and we can go with it. Do I know specifics about the actual A or B or how it's contracted? Not my problem. I just keep me safe, and we're good. Preliminary research has been conducted suggesting that Prunella vulgaris may help with genital herpes and cold sores. So I guess that's the difference between A or B. In 2004, a study identified a polysaccharide within self-heal that reduced the expression of the herpes virus in an in vitro study. Researchers who conducted the study suggested that the plant may have future use for anti-herpes virus drugs. Okay. There was another one done on guinea pigs in 2007. It said that they had lesions and, well, it just shut off on me and I lost everything. I don't know why it's doing that. It does that sometimes. We talked about it being antiviral. We have talked about it being anti-inflammatory, antibacterial now. It's also been used in help with estrogen. So it has been known in different studies to decrease the GREB1, and it's an estrogen responsive protein. It has multiple studies have been done, and they show that it has decreased cancer cells significantly. It doesn't say that it prevents it; it just will decrease them if they're already there. So it says that the studies basically conclude that estrogen-based cancers would benefit from a self-heal treatment. It also can help with hypoglycemia. In 2007, a study was conducted that showed it has anti-hyperglycemic effects. Since the study was conducted on mice with induced diabetes, and the treatment containing plant extracts was administered to the rats in 4 doses. Dosage was dependent upon the weight of the individual rat, but approximately 30 minutes after the dose was administered, the mice showed to have suppressed blood glucose levels. The insulin levels were not affected, but the blood glucose levels were. But there's also been other studies, like in 2012, there was a study conducted that shows that it may help with diabetes in another way. So mice induced with diabetes were also treated with extracts taken from self-heal. And after the treatment, the group of mice showed reduced blood sugars. So that inhibited the development of the atherosclerosis, which is the fatty buildup in the arteries. It happens a lot with people with diabetes. There's a lot of studies, test tube studies, studies on rodents. It shows that the herb may inhibit enzymes that break down and metabolize carbohydrates in the body, which leads to lower blood sugar levels and improved diabetes control. It'll protect against the atherosclerosis that happens because of all that. There was an 8-week study that fed diabetic mice a diet high in fat and cholesterol, and gave them the extract of self-heal extract. They had lower total blood cholesterols, LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and triglycerides. The extract improved heart function. We talked about how it helps with oral health, so specifically gingivitis, which is just inflammation of the gums. That's all that is. And that is caused by diet and poor oral care. It will improve the immune system. There are studies conducted in 2005 that suggested that polysaccharides prevent the replication of viruses. And so it builds the immune system by warding off harmful bacteria. So they gave a dosage on this one website. I will, as always, include the links below for you to do your own research. There's a lot more on those websites than I could ever include in what we're sharing in this amount of time. In general, a dosage of 5 to 10 milligrams is advised as a supplement. And either pill or powder form. Especially if not used in combination with other treatments, the dosage could be doubled. Could be. It says should. Some suggest drinking 1 cup of tea a week to treat acne. For severe acne, 3 cups per week is suggested. 1 teaspoon of the dried herb can be mixed with 1 cup of boiling water to make an infusion. Tea can be used as a mouthwash. It doesn't taste bad at all. It actually tastes pretty. It has a nice flavor to it. Fresh cut leaves can be applied to wounds. The plant itself can be. I have used it once or twice. The leaves work just as well. The leaves are probably easier to work with, but the leaves were all chewed up by the bugs at the time, so that's why I used the plant itself. Regular consumption of the whole plant can be preventative care and body maintenance. It will also improve your immune system. So it does have potential side effects. So again, if you're on pharmaceuticals, you're less likely to be able to have it. Although it does say in combination with cancer treatments. One that I would never mess with is if you're on blood thinning medication, because it has the coumarin constituent in it. So coumarin, it's basically, it thins your blood so that it circulates better. There's a lot to that. Oh, I was on that after it was Lovenox, which is just another brand of Coumadin, basically, blood thinners, after I had my 4th kid, because, almost died. And this was long before I knew I did know a lot of herbal stuff, but not as much as I do now. I also didn't have the healthiest lifestyle back then. I'm much better now. I will say it again 1,000 times. I'm not a purist, but I do my best. If somebody's dying, guess what? I'm taking them to the hospital. It's just the way it is. I will try to treat them on the way, potentially. I'm not a purist. I try. But it specifically says that it is the grass, the generally considered, I don't remember the word, like the actual acronym. Hang on. I'm looking it up because generally recognized, that was the R, recognize the safe. Generally recognize the safe is considered the GRAS. Okay, I feel better because I'm like, I know this. It's not coming to me. So, it is also not recommended for women who are pregnant and breastfeeding. I'm going to tell you that because I kind of have to, because I don't need anybody coming after me saying that I told them otherwise. But it can be used for all ages. Otherwise, if you want an experiment on yourself, it is not on me. So, we can make infusions and tinctures. We can make a decoction from it. A decoction is when you use the fresh flower spikes. Okay, I don't know how to make a decoction. I've been taught once or twice. Not hands-on though. I have a harder time. I like people to show me what to do. Show me what to do. And instead of telling me how to do it. That's why I like to show you guys how to do things in some of my videos. I haven't done one in a while because it's gardening season and I'm outside. So There's other reasons too. You don't need to know. But you can make a poultice. So you crush up the fresh leaves, put it directly on the wounds or under a dressing on a minor cut, scrapes to prevent infection. Eye, mouth, or throat wash. And there's a lot you can do with it. I mean, you could make an oil, but that would just be more like to put on the actual like wound itself, like a Neosporin. It's a brand, I know, but I think that's the one most everybody is familiar with. But you can also eat it as a garnish on your salads. So the tender shoots can be chopped up and added to soups, stews, and salads. We've done that before because we've made quite a few salads out of just the things in our yard before. I mean, added to what we normally would use. But it's fun. Like, you're like, let's go forward to our dinner. Or at least the appetizer. Depends. I mean, depends if we make salad big enough, too. Because often we have salads just for dinner. So, it will, we talked about this at the very beginning. We're going to talk about gardening of it. Really, because it's, as long as it's a native in your area, you don't really have to garden it. You just do it. Just let it grow. It is a great ground cover. Its sprawling growth prevents soil erosion. If you let the leaves decompose, they enrich the soil. So it basically enhances soil quality, helping all the other plants as well thrive. It's more than just a pretty face. It plays a significant role in nurturing the ecosystem. So if you want to grow it, like if it is not native to your area, you can grow it. They do sell seeds online. And basically you just kind of have to have like moist soil. Like, you gotta keep them watered, like with every other plant, except with succulent, because they're fickle. That is pretty much all I have for you. Mm-hmm. I think we covered a lot. Definitely covered more than 30 minutes. Sorry. I am so thankful you guys stuck around. Very thankful that you're here still. Um, like and subscribe because it will help immensely. The view time helps immensely. That's actually the thing I'm the shortest on right now is view time. I know. Makes me sad. But we can improve it, right? Improve it together. I will be putting all the links that I have, links and information from down below in the description, along with, I will also be adding in, and I have been, but I didn't really tell you, the link to the Facebook group, and that is super fun. We have a daily topic, and sometimes there's some fights. There's a little bit of drama sometimes. We have to intervene. Me and my moderator and our group expert. I can't figure out how to make her moderator, or Tilly would. We have a lot of fun over there overall. There's a lot of learning going on. We share a lot of information, no links, except for me and her. I let her too. Anyway, Facebook group. We've got 118K as of this week. I'm super excited about it. I love my group. It is where I spend a lot of my time when I'm on my phone. So if anybody ever just sees me on my phone all the time, guess what? I'm probably moderating the group or discussing things with people. I'm not just on it for kicks and giggles. Anyway. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for learning with me. And let me know what you want to hear about next. Because I can just keep talking. I'm not going to. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.